Welcome to Decades, hosted by Chris Rubio. Decades is a show made up of 5 generations of people brought together to discuss topics you wouldn't normally talk about with others. The goal of the show is to learn by having some good, possibly heated discussions, without losing the simple fact that it's okay to talk to different people with different opinions other than your own.
Welcome to Decades. My name is Chris Rubio. I'll be your host for tonight. We've got a phenomenal lineup. We've got phenomenal content. Make sure you're subscribing on Roku, YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn. Where else are we at? Amazon Fire, Google Play. You can download the app now, NGBN app. And you can also obviously go to ngbn.tv. Make sure you're sharing, texting everyone right now, saying, oh my gosh, the guys from Decades are on right now. Rubio's on, and he's bringing on Sub 60 Ed right now. Sub 60, what's up, my man?
Mr. Rubio, how's it going, man?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing great. Hey, second time we've seen each other. I was jumping on your earlier show. Had a little fun there. It was always good. Loved the piece about
Jonathan. One of the best days of your life.
No, it actually gives me my twitches a little bit more. But, we deal with it, and it's all good. But we got a great show here tonight.
We do. Let's start with the panelists. I'm going to start from youngest to oldest. Charles Schultz, representing our 40s. He's from Ohio, a 2-time All-American in strength and conditioning and baseball. He's the host of the Edge of Greatness podcast on the NGBN TV network. He's phenomenal. Proof that white man can jump. And he's from Worcester.
You're still Worcester. Not like Rooster. Worcester.
He's from Worcester, Ohio. Is that close?
We're getting closer. We're working on it.
Okay, we'll move on from him. We've got represented our 50s, AC, otherwise known as Big Time and also Overtime. Anthony Cobbs lives in LA. He's a teacher, coach, host of AC Sports Live that's coming on at 9 p.m. Pacific time. What's up, Jonas? Here we go. AC, how are you, my man? AC, you're on mute, Daddy. You're on mute.
Need your mic, man.
I'm muted. I would say Big Time is over, so it's all good in the hood.
David Bazinet says, what's up? Dave Bradley said, let's do this. He's also from Ohio. I don't know if he's from Worcester.
Toledo area.
Yeah. Jim Scarano, also from his 50s, lives in Ocean City, New Jersey, an avid outdoorsman. He's great on social media, father of 2 and a public educator. What's up, Scarano?
What's happening, Rubio?
All right, next up. Also, that's what I'm saying.
No, it's not that. It's Worcester.
What did I say?
But more importantly, you got to look at Jim's. Look at Jim's hoodie. Look at Jim's representing tonight. Let's go Hawks. If there's any Hawks watching tonight, make sure
you know anything about St. Joe's University?
No. I only know about UCLA. That's what you need to know, and that's
exactly. No, God. All right.
I will say this. I got a shout out to you and AC and the rest of the crew at the Super Bowl in Vegas. That was unbelievable. Unbelievable.
That was a good time. Also in our 50s, we've got Alex Chris. He's originally from the Ukraine, grew up in the USSR, lives in LA. He's a beer connoisseur and heads up the Charlie Sheen fan club. What's up? We call him Gru.
Greetings from the California winterland where temperature goes as low as 45 degrees.
Oh, okay. Gloria Scarano says, spell it Worcester. Is that right?
Yes.
That was the best you've said it.
There you go.
That's the best you've said it.
Gloria. All right, Gloria.
Okay, so that's it.
The phonetic spelling, that's all.
Yeah. Good God. Next up from Florida, we've got Bill Geiser. He's an entrepreneur. He represents the 60s, a wearable tech guru, phenomenal swimmer that lives in Florida. What's up, Bill Geiser?
Greetings, Decadians from the glorious west coast of Florida.
Fantastic. And last, but certainly not least, also in the 60s, Representative Jay Gaskell is an Idaho native, Seahawks fan, retired district court judge, makes the best old-fashioned in Northwest, allegedly. What's up, Judge?
Hey, Rubio, we got nobody from their 20s, so I'll fill in for that time slot.
we didn't say born in the 1920s, Judge. All right, we've got several topics. We've got about 7 topics. See if we hit them all. I doubt we will. We're going to start off with a hot topic. This just came out, Super Bowl Sunday. As you know, Joey B is, I think, the first president, probably not the first president, but he has not done a Super Bowl interview for the 2nd year in a row. It's a softball interview. It's, hey, do you like ice cream? What flavor do you like? Who are you picking? The Chiefs or who was the other team? Jeez, I just lost my mind.
49ers.
Who was the other team? The Niners. Good God. It wasn't the Hawks, so I've just drowned it out. Okay, the Hawks are, the Niners or the Chiefs. Who's your favorite player? What's your favorite sport? He declined that. And then they posted this at about 10 a.m. Pacific time. Sub 60, play this video for us.
Super Bowl Sunday. If you're anything like me, you like to be surrounded by a snack or two while watching the big game. When buying snacks for the game, you might have noticed one thing. Sports drinks bottles are smaller. A bag of chips has fewer chips, but they're still charging you just as much. And as an ice cream lover, what makes me the most angry is that ice cream cartons have actually shrunk in size, but not in price. I've had enough of what they call shrinkflation. It's a ripoff. Some companies are trying to pull a fast one by shrinking the products little by little and hoping you won't notice. Give me a break. The American public is tired of being played for suckers. I'm calling on companies to put a stop to this. Let's make sure businesses do the right thing now.
Okay. We can go at this at a couple of different angles here. I'm going to go to AC first because I know you're not a political guy, AC. I'm not even going to ask you a political question on it. I'm just going to say, since you and I are on camera now a lot, how many different cuts did they have to make and edits to get Joey B to go through 45 seconds of that? Because that camera, there was like 9 different cameras and there's 0 chance he did 45 seconds straight. Just from your editorial experience, how many?
I imagine there's a lot in the can. I imagine they took quite a few takes, but I'm trying to figure out if he's being serious or if he's trolling us. So God bless him for giving us a nice little laugh.
That's what I saw the first time. I said, okay, number one, this is 1,000 cuts. Number two, I looked around. I was like, am I being filmed? Is this a joke? Like, what's happening here? Jim Scarano.
That was a total joke. In my mind, I mean, I don't know what everybody else thinks, but I thought he was impersonating Jerry Seinfeld there for a while. And I'm like, what is going on here? But I will say this. I had those same thoughts when I open up a bag of chips and it's all the way to the bottom. And I'm like,
there's 3 chips in there.
But yeah, that was interesting.
Yeah, and I read somewhere that Doritos actually, same size bag, but they took 5 chips out of every bag now. So that's the main difference because obviously they count them. Charles Schultz, your thoughts?
I just want to know why he looks like the guy from Marcus Cinemas and I'm about to watch a movie. What, like, there was 84 red chairs and it was like 6 rows deep. Like, I don't know what I was expecting some like trailer to show up afterwards. As far as the content, I don't know. I'm gonna get a good laugh out of it. I think it's hilarious.
But I don't think he was going for comedy. That's the bad part. No. Judge, what are your thoughts on this?
Well, I had technical difficulties here. I couldn't see the video, so I'm totally in support of President Biden.
Liar. Gru, what's your thoughts on it?
Well, I think since Biden was the cause of shrinkflation, the whole thing looked scripted, and then basically he was just saying what he was told to say, in my opinion.
He said he's the cause of it.
Well, yeah, that's kind of obvious. And I'm not thinking he's ad-libbing on screen here. I mean, good Lord. He confused the president of Mexico and Egypt 2 days ago or whatever. Yes. Bill Geiser, final thoughts on this, because I don't think we need to beat this one with a dead horse.
Yeah, I just think it's politics as usual, and I happen to agree with Alex. He's the cause of it. He's just trying to run from the truth.
You guys are hilarious.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, AC, why are you laughing? Why do you think he's not the cause of it?
Because I looked at the decades feed and it's Gru and Bill Geiser just ripping on Joey B for like 3 weeks, and I was like, who cares?
They should have opened up their own thread.
It's politics, man. It's politics. Yeah. Why do you watch it? Who cares?
I'll tell you what, whoever did his makeup and stuff, he was all tight and everything. Like maybe a mortician did the work. I don't know.
Yeah, now that could be true. All right, let's move to sports real quick. With Belichick, Saban, and Pete Carroll retiring, what does football coaches Mount Rushmore look like? Okay, we'll start with the judge because he's seen the most coaches, obviously.
What do you mean by that question?
I mean, if you're building a Mount Rushmore of football coaches, who do you have on it? Obviously, me. Okay, but who else?
That's only got four. Camp directors aren't.
You can have 4?
Yeah. 4. Mount Rushmore has 4 heads.
Yes. We're not listening to you, Scarano, on any historical facts, because remember last time you wanted to go fight with the Native Americans and you thought it was hunky-dory.
Not fight with them. No, just live with them. No, well,
that involves fighting, man.
No, it doesn't. Not to the white man team. Come on, move on.
Where was I at? Judge, go ahead.
Obviously, I think the answer is obvious. You're going to have 4 different views or portraits of Pete Carroll.
Go Hawks. Okay, well let's move topics because Judge obviously knocked it out of the park here. Go ahead, Bill Geiser.
Well, hey, I got to throw Tom Landry's name in there. Probably Vince Lombardi, and I think Belichick. Actually, I mean, how do you turn that guy down? And I don't care. You guys can arm wrestle for 4th.
Okay, but then what happens to the argument of Belichick was great, but as soon as he didn't have Brady, what happened?
Who cares? Results kind of speak for themselves, right?
Yeah, I guess. Charles Schultz, what are your thoughts?
How many rings does he have?
He's got a lot. Yeah, 5.
5.
Results.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to argue with 5 championships. For me, I go Paul Brown, Bill Walsh, Vince Lombardi, and then the last spot goes to one of the 3, Belichick, Hollis, or Shula. Probably Belichick because he's got more championships than anybody else, but I mean, the other 2 did some serious thing during their time. So, I mean, the first 3 are a lock for me. It's Paul Brown, Bill Walsh, and Vince Lombardi. And then you can slide whoever you want in there for that 4th one between those other 3.
Okay, but none of you guys are throwing. Now, this is football coaches, not just NFL coaches. Okay.
Yeah, college, you don't get in. That's little boy game. If you want to make a college Mount Rushmore, then you're going to go Walter Camp, Pop Warner, Bear Bryant, and Saban probably. Or, you go throw in Bobby Bowden.
Or Rubio, whoever.
Obviously, I mean, that need not be said. You don't have to waste oxygen on that. Sub 60 Ed, you're on mute, and I don't like you popping in. It frightens me.
Stop. No. Rubio's a coach of long snappers. He's not a full football coach. He can't be on Mount Rushmore.
He did say he's not a football guy.
No.
Thank you, AC.
Maybe the backside of him on the other side of Rushmore.
Yes, exactly.
Well played, Judge. Judge is hot tonight.
Yes.
It's my favorite already.
All right, AC Sports Live. What do you got? Then I come to you, Scarano.
So I'm going NFL, NCAA. I'm like Chuck said, they're 2 different things. I got 3 Billies and an Andy. Bill Walsh, Bill Parcells, Bill Belichick, and Andy Reid.
Are we gonna bring up the Andy Reid Kelce bump? Are we gonna talk about that or no?
The way he handled that gives him even more kudos because I would have smacked him and he wouldn't have played the rest of the night. Any old school coach would have sat him down the rest of the night. But since the NFL was about their money and about Taylor Swift being happy, there was no way they were going to sit down.
You cannot tell me his walrus mustache didn't flare up. He looked over and Roger Goodell got in his ear and said, "Don't even think about it." Yep. There's 0 chance you're kicking him out or benching him. The Swifties will literally burn down Vegas.
He almost went down.
Yeah.
I mean,
coming from a ref, you bump a ref like that, you're out.
Yeah. And I don't care. I don't like it was the passion of the game. It's heat. He was involved in it. Everyone's involved in it, dude. And it just sets a very, very poor example to the youth. Because you can't tell me right now some youth isn't going to go boom and just think, it's called the Kelce. Like they already you got mossed. Now you got Kelce'd. Where you bump them. And it's not a good look. It's not a good look. I don't like the fact that in his press conference, he took, I guess you'd call it the high road and saying, he was in the heat of the game, blah, blah, blah. He should have said, it was not a good look. I mean, I get it, but Jim Scarano, what do you think?
I wonder what his brother has to say about it. I'd be interested.
He's still hammered.
Jason didn't even know what happened.
EC, I don't know how Parcells got on your list being an Eagles fan. It kind of baffles me. Lombardi, number 1. Shula, I got to look at my notes. Reed, and the 4th is hard. I'm going to be a homer and go with Chuck Noll because I always loved the Steelers growing up.
How many championships does Lombardi have? 3?
Judge?
Trophy's named after him. I don't know. I think he only has 2.
That means he's just because it's named after him doesn't make him the greatest.
All right, well, explain Bill Parcells to me.
I didn't say greatest. Mount Rushmore to me is like the people who revolutionized the game, not necessarily the greatest. That's Paul Brown got two organizations named after. Well,
you can't say revolutionized the game without mentioning Saban, though, because how many coaches came off the Saban tree like they did the Belichick tree?
You've already been outvoted. The NCAA is not the NFL.
And truthfully, Saban developed coaches. He didn't change the game.
Yeah. I got Parcells because he dealt with cokeheads.
Allegedly.
And he had Phil Simms to win a championship with Mark Bavaro, Phil McConkey. It was rough.
Mark Bavaro had some great hair.
Eagles fan, that's all.
Oh, yeah. It was tough. They beat my Eagles.
Bill Geiser, did you go?
I did.
Okay.
Tom Landry.
Oh, Gru, you don't even know football.
Well, I know Lombardi and Belichick. I don't know much about everybody else. Just it's not my sport per se.
Ask him if Joey B's on the Mount Rushmore of presidents.
On the backside.
On the backside.
We're going to keep this topic going. We're going to come back after the break with it was the whole world pulling for the Chiefs because of Kelce and Swift. I say it's the absolute opposite. Sub 60 Ed, take us to commercial, my man.
You have been watching Decades, a show on the NGBN.TV network.
You're watching the exclusive sneak peek of NGBN TV. Like never before, streaming content for men is now available, with more to come. Join us on this journey as we introduce you to content creators and shows that are here to inspire, educate, entertain, celebrate, and support men in their 40s, 50s, and 60s. We can't do this without you, so please enjoy this sneak peek, but also share it with your friends and family and help us connect with companies, organizations, brands, or nonprofits who align with our mission to save men's lives. This is the NGBN TV Sneak Peek.
Come back to Decades. Take it away, Rubio.
Welcome. My name is Chris Rubio. Lombardi and Belichick, Jodas says, 2 good ones to know. Yeah. I still like the argument of, okay, we'll do a sub question. Best overall coaches, top 4, top 3, regardless of the sport. So you could put the lady, AC, you'll know who it is, women's volunteer basketball, Tennessee.
Pat Summitt.
She was a stud.
John Wooden.
Okay. John Wooden's obviously on there. Pete Carroll's obviously still on there, and I'm still on there. So it's me, John Wooden, and Pat Summitt. I got it. Judge, same question.
I agree completely with that, with the exception of you, obviously.
only if you're wearing the yellow sweatshirt.
Well,
on Mount Rushmore.
Sub 60, stop popping in. It frightens me. You come in too hot and too quick.
I know it does.
Come in.
Oh, no. Oh, I will. That's why I do it.
Is there any way that you come in like slow, like a steam?
Absolutely not. I come in hard and fast. I learned from Bill Geiser. You got to come in hot.
True. Okay, Bill Geiser, who's your top 3 coaches of all time? Any sport?
Well, I gotta kind of throw my swimming pals in there. So I'm gonna go with probably Dr. James Councilman, the coach of IU. I think he's got as many NCAA championships as John Wooden does in basketball. And he was really the man who revolutionized swimming. Coach of Mark Spitz. I don't know how many other Olympians. So Doc Councilman, put him in there.
Okay, I like that. Who are your other ones? You still going Landry?
Who cares?
Oh, okay. All right. Charles Schultz.
Oh, three best coaches of all time. I'm gonna have to say Wooden has got to be one of them. I'm gonna go. Man, this is tougher than I would think. Gino Auriemma, I think he's deserves to be in there for what he did with his time at UConn, and then I'm gonna go with the All Blacks coach Graham Henry.
Okay, Scarano.
Never thought Schultz would steal Gino Auriemma from me.
Boom! Let's go.
Yeah. Can I just have Gino too?
Yeah, absolutely.
Probably Gino, Ian Smith, and I don't know, Ed. Ed, come up with my last one.
Well, who's Gino Origami? Who is that?
You got to say Pat Summitt. Pat Summitt's got to be in there because she was.
I was going to say Martelli for me.
Yeah, but no.
3 all the time. You can't have 2 from the same sport.
Who's Gino Auriemma? Is that who?
Yeah.
Isn't he the UConn basketball?
He's the UConn women's coach.
UConn women's basketball.
Oh yeah.
Until Dawn Staley took over South Carolina, he dominated. His Connecticut team dominated.
Oh, my third would be Lombardi.
Yeah.
There you go.
Alex on Tech, Gru?
Well, I would pick Phil Jackson from basketball. I would pick Sir Alex Ferguson, who was a coach of Manchester United for like 28 years. And the third coach would probably be John Wooden.
Okay. AC Sports Live?
I'm going to go Coach K.
Oh, that's a good one.
I'm going to go John Wooden. Same sport. Same, but Eddie Robinson, old-time HBCU Grambling State.
Grambling.
Winning this college football coach for a while. I think someone just passed him, but, as a kid growing up, I was dead set on going to Grambling State, but, UCLA came calling.
For Coach K, are you talking about Ed Kazarian?
Yeah. And grab those traps and wrist massage those traps. Yeah. Coach K.
Jimmy Dugan. Okay. You have to go John Wooden, obviously. Who was the boxing coach that worked on Tyson?
That is
Customato.
Customato. To make that guy just a pit bull, that's a good one. And
who's the ear doctor, maybe?
Norm Anderson. No.
How about Mickey from who trained Rocky?
Mickey.
If you're going to go fictitious coach,
fictional, that's the whole show.
You're right.
Yeah, that's the whole show. If you're going to go fictitious coaches, because then you got to go Mick, you can go Paulie, and then you can go Apollo Creed as well. All three were coaches.
Who was the 1980 ice hockey gold medal?
Oh yeah,
Kurt Douglas.
Yeah.
Kurt Douglas. No, but who was the what's the guy's name? The guy who
I don't know. Rick Moranis and the Little Giants.
Rick Moranis and the Little Giants. Hell of a coach. He brought that team back from nothing. The other dude had goat's milk on his thighs every night.
He got icebox. Sheesh.
Yeah, icebox. Hell of a player. All right, let's shift gears. Was the whole world pulling for Chiefs because of Kelce and Swift? Raise your hand if you say yes. I say no.
Oh, great. It's no debate.
Judge, you say yes, they were going for them?
Whoa.
Why?
Well, obviously, all these Swifties were going for him, which is a huge influx of fans. And I think everybody but old white males that are against all of that were going for him. I think she's great for the NFL.
Okay.
That's funny.
I
guess I have a lot of old white males.
My younger daughter, she's a big Taylor Swift fan, and she was watching Super Bowl for the first time. She's 21.
Wow. Okay, so that's exactly what Judge is talking about.
Exactly. Yes.
Bill Geiser, people were for or against it? For or against the Chiefs?
I was for him, but not because of that. I was for him because of Patrick Mahomes. How do you bet against that guy?
Yeah. And is Patrick Mahomes considered one of the top 5 quarterbacks of all time now?
I think you have to put him in that. He's certainly in the conversation.
Yeah.
I mean, no one was watching that game with 1:45 left and saying, okay, this is over. They're going to lose. Everyone was like, okay, you gave them too much time. They're going to win.
Yeah.
I mean, if you didn't think that, you were either an idiot or you never watched football once in your life.
Yeah. He's something. And hey, as far as Taylor Swift is concerned, good for her. And it was a good thing for the NFL. But the smart way to bet is to bet on Mahomes, not on Taylor Swift.
Yes.
Well, AC and I were out in Vegas. I don't know if you guys know, kind of a big deal for a whole week on Media Row. And I mean, we asked the exact same question to every single person at the end of who you going for? Who you going for? And everyone, same exact answer. You can't bet against Mahomes. They said it over and over and over again. They're like, I want the Niners, but you can't. Big Time Show says one thing is for sure. Mahomes is the best player in the world right now, and it's crazy.
Real crazy.
It's hard to argue that. He's not the best overall athlete in the world right now.
You don't have to be the best athlete to be the best football player in the world at a moment.
I know. But the way he worded that, he's saying the best player, and I'm saying there's no way he's the best. I mean, pound for pound, would you? I'll throw a monkey wrench into everything. The girl from Iowa, basketball player, would you say she's a better overall athlete in her sport than he is?
When you throw the word athlete in there, it takes away from the argument because it's not about athleticism per se. Can you play? I think being a good, can you win? Can you play? Can you lead? Can you play under pressure? Like Mahomes is not a great athlete. He can play basketball, but I'm pretty sure his 40 time is no longer, what it was when he came out of college. He's got a dad bod now, but he can play freaking quarterback. He can play quarterback.
Can you win when it matters?
Right.
Yeah,
exactly.
He can win when it matters.
I mean, Tom Brady's a terrible athlete, but he's the best quarterback to ever play the game for now. Until Mahomes passes him.
I know Andy Reid appreciates it. Wow.
Yeah, picked him out of high school, right? He said, this kid's going to be great. Followed him through Texas Tech. That kid's going to be great. And drafted him.
Yeah. And shout out for the Big Time Show coming on, Doug Brooks. Well done to you. Charles Schultz, what's your thoughts? For or against the Chiefs?
I mean, I wanted the Niners to win. I grew up a Niners fan. In the early 80s, late 80s, when they were winning Super Bowls was when I got into football, and the Browns obviously weren't doing a whole lot of winning.
No.
So I suffered through watching the Browns play football, and then when the playoffs came, I enjoyed watching the 49ers because I didn't want the Cowboys to win. So it was one or the other if I was going with an NFC team. And so I wanted the Niners to win. And I think that it was probably 50-50 when it comes to people who didn't want Kansas City to win and people who did, because there was a lot of new fans to the Super Bowl this year. So if you add them in with all the people who are the old heads who didn't want that, then I'd say it's probably pretty balanced.
AC, final thoughts on this, and then we're going to go to break.
I just know you all thought the same thing I thought when it was 16-13. Vegas was licking its chops.
Yeah.
And then what was the final? The final over under or whatever was 47, and they got 47 or something like that.
Yeah.
25-22,
and I had 5 and 2 in the parlay.
Oh, we're not talking about the damn scoreboards. We did a board over at the judges, and the judge and his wife literally won every quarter.
Even the last one?
Yes. And the worst part is I picked all their numbers.
Well done.
0-0?
Yeah, 0-0 was like 2 quarters in a row.
0-0 was the first one.
Yeah.
Jeez.
On that note, take us to commercial before I start throwing things.
You have been watching Decades, a show on the NGBN.TV network.
In the US, 122 million people have high blood pressure, and doctors say about 2/3 are unaware. The launch of a new smartphone app could make knowing your status as easy as taking a selfie. The way it works is the camera is looking at the changes in the blood vessels in the whites of my eyes, right and along this part of my face, said Nick Desai, co-founder of Together by Renee. After detecting blood movements, the app uses artificial intelligence and algorithms to measure blood pressure, heart rate, and even blood oxygen levels. But how accurate is it? A University of Toronto study shows the technology is accurate in a range of 95%, which is extremely good. This app is available on both Apple and Google Play stores. This tip for NGBN TV network is brought to you by Alex on Tech.
Welcome back to Decades. Take it away, Rubio.
That was pretty impressive, Gru, but I think Substance Ed needs a little tech.
It does work. Actually, I tried it. So, I mean, my blood pressure was in a 95%, from the app.
Did you have to take out the glasses?
No.
That's pretty impressive.
Yes.
It actually, at one point, it sounded like you slid into a little Russian or Ukrainian.
Well, when he gets fired up, his accent gets thicker. I've told you this before.
Yeah, it does. And
yes,
and I'm not sure what happened to that clip, but nonetheless, it played good stuff.
I think you messed up because you keep popping in and out. The computer's probably fried. You should probably just stay out the rest of the time now.
No. I see when I jump in, I see these numbers spike. So I guess it's me jumping in.
Now take your shirt off and see what happens.
Yeah, and then the numbers go negative. It might take my shirt off.
All right, next question for the judge. He'll start us off because he has the most, obviously, we'll say background. Do states and individuals need to follow the Supreme Court rulings, yes or no, and why?
Well, they're obligated to follow the Supreme Court rulings because that's the ultimate precedent for courts. The problem is that there's a myriad of ways to distinguish cases they might have from a Supreme Court ruling because the Supreme Court tries to rule on the narrowest basis they can. So it leaves a lot of different avenues open that don't directly contradict the Supreme Court ruling.
Okay, now let's do that again for everyone that's not a district court judge. Explain it to us like we're a third grader, Judge.
Yes, you have to follow the Supreme Court ruling unless there's some way to distinguish your case from that.
And how would you do that?
Say the facts are different circumstances. There's a myriad of ways to get around that.
Has there been any cases that you've known of where someone has done that?
Oh, yeah. I mean, the Supreme Court does it to themselves all the time. The abortion rulings, things like that. They change the facts to suit whatever opinion they want to come up with.
Okay. Charles, you're nodding. Thoughts?
It just makes sense to me as far as, I'm not real big on that part of the political spectrum and as far as the Supreme Court goes, but my understanding is that they're the highest form of the law and that what they say is that's where it ends. They've taken it through all the appeals courts. They've taken it through all the other opportunities to make adjustments. And then when it gets to that highest court, whatever they say, that's what we do until somebody comes up with a precedent that changes that. So I would, I'm just kind of nodding along because it makes sense to me as far as how that works.
But I think I've heard someone say they're not the smartest word. They're just the final word. I don't know who said it.
Whatever.
Scarano, you had your hand up.
I want to know who said that. Listen, you started with a judge. Like, how do you not just agree with what he says? He's the judge.
Because he's retired.
Yeah.
No, I mean, it's the Supreme Court. It's the highest court. But can there be people on there that might not make the best decisions? I don't know. Probably.
Yeah.
Bill Geiser?
Well, I'd like to think we're a nation of laws, and we follow those laws, or should be, and they are the sort of the last stop in the line. So do I think states and people should follow their rulings? Yes, unless, as the judge said, somebody can bring up something that shows that there is some significant differentiation from their situation from the ruling the Supreme Court made, and then it's a different story. But by and large, yeah, if they say this is the way it is, it's the way it should be. Wait, what's that Yelp runner thing, Rubio?
So it should be written. So it shall be done.
Yes.
Judge, I got a question for you that I know everyone's dying to ask. Do those robes come in one size fits all?
They do not.
No.
The right hand pocket goes all the way through. I'll give you a little secret of the judiciary.
Yeah, because we have another judge in Lewiston. I think he's retired. He's like 6'10", right?
Yeah.
He can't be wearing the same robe as you.
No, my rope's to his knees.
And then sub 60 looked like Darth Vader wearing that thing.
Oh, yeah. It'd look like a bridal veil.
Mini table.
Yeah. I'd have to cut half. I could cut one in half and have two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could have one.
I'd save money if I was smart enough to be a lawyer and a judge.
That's true.
Yeah,
All right. AC, I know you're dying for this topic.
Yeah, I can't wait. I really couldn't wait to talk about this. My thing is the fact that you have to ask, do states need to? Like, it's optional. I think it should just be, every state should do what's best for the people of that state, unless it has to go to the Supreme Court, and then they need to follow what the ruling is. I don't know, man. Like, I never did really buy into the government and the different judicial systems and all that stuff. I just know that, it's broken. If you're coming from a different perspective, it's not working for us on this side of the spectrum.
Speaking of broken, recently the Department of Justice confirmed Hunter Biden laptop is real after they had 51 expert analysis saying, yes, this is 100% not his. We need to go past this. You couldn't message about it on Twitter at the time. Now it's X. Your messages were not allowed to go through. And now they've confirmed that it is real. What is there any going to be justification on that, Bill Geiser?
The whole situation confuses me. I mean, I thought the thing was real from day one. Clearly, it got thrown in the back office so the election could go on without that becoming a factor. And now that it's over, the facts come out. It's bullshit that it happened, but it's a real thing. And if the guy broke some of the laws, let's go after him. He doesn't deserve to be defended any more than anybody else. The laws apply to him too.
Judge, should the laws apply to him as well?
Who are you talking about, Hunter or President Biden?
Yeah, Hunter.
Both.
Well, yeah, of course. I think, of course, the laws apply to him. So I understand it. There's like 100 and some thousand emails, and they've been able to verify. Depends on which survey you look at, anyway, from 1,800 to 22,000 of them. But regardless, I think yeah, his laptop's real. That stuff is in there. Whether they accepted money or not, I don't know. At least he didn't come out and say he encourages Russia to invade other countries. But how bad can it be?
Always getting that little jab in there. Charles Schultz, thoughts?
I just think as a whole, the political system needs to rebuild trust with the American people. At this point, it doesn't matter what side of the aisle you're on. The trust part is gone. No matter what someone says on the right or someone says on the left, there's so many different twists and variations of the truth and so many different ways of spinning things and so much just ridiculous information being thrown at us that nothing makes sense anymore and nothing's clear and nothing's what it is until years later. And then we find out what it really is. So, I mean, I just think we need to get back to some sense of, humanity and trust and truth giving. And trust Absolutely. Is the biggest thing right now. There's no trust on either side. Well, and that's why we can't get anything done. Like, why would I listen to somebody who I don't think's telling me the truth?
Yep.
Okay, so yes, 100%. Yes. Nana Mona says nothing's going to happen to him. Bazinet says DOJ needs all new upper echelons. Yes. Big Time Show seems the law keeps missing Trump. I missed that one. Sub 60 is going too fast. Don't piss on my leg and tell me it's raining. It seems the law keeps missing Trump but catches all his friends. Well, you could say that if you wanted to. I know the judge would. Going back to the trust thing. How are they going to regain trust? Because you got someone like AC who's he's tapped out. He's not going to listen to it. He doesn't want to listen to it. He doesn't care. If he used to pay $80 for groceries and now he pays $160, it is what it is. I don't want to talk.
Chuck was just preaching right there. I want to throw my hands up and just say hallelujah because he just said everything that needed to be said on this topic.
And I agree, but I'm saying, okay, so how do we go back to get any bit of trust? Or is it, or just is it? You can't fix it.
I think you and I had this topic all week long in Vegas, and you kept asking me, "How do you fix it? How do you fix it?" People don't want to be fixed.
Whose trust are you wanting to get back, Rubio? Yours?
That's a Charles Schultz question. I'm just asking, like right now, if I hear anything,
I don't trust any of them.
Well, exactly. That's my point. Is like if it's mainstream media, I'm not trusting it. Literally, as far as I can throw the judge, which is still about 8 feet, but that's about it. Okay.
No,
that's it.
Politicians in general.
Oh, zero.
Right.
Zero. I'm trusting that as much as Sub 60 could throw me.
I don't trust politicians, media. It's a sweep. We got to get ratings. We got to get up. We got to make sure that the Chiefs win the Super Bowl so we can get these ratings up. It's sometimes just a money grab, man.
We've never trusted politicians. We used to trust the media, but once media lost trust, that was the fourth estate. They were the ones that were supposed to keep everyone honest.
Well, who is controlling
and we've lost that independent body that does that, and that's what's fucked this whole thing up over the last decade or so.
Decades.
Charles Schultz, you're chomping at the bit. I can see it.
Yeah, I mean, if you're looking to build trust back, I need a leader who's going to step in and take ownership of things. Say when you mess up, be truthful. Don't try to spin it. And the hard thing is they're so managed by everybody because you have to save face. What you need is a guy who's not trying to get reelected from day one and is going to own what they're doing, why they're doing it, how they're doing it, and be straight with it. And if you're that person and you own what your choices are, this is the best way to lead this country. This is what I believe is going to help us go forward. And you own the choices you make, then I'm going to stand beside you, whether you're on the right or the left. I may not agree with your choices, but at least I understand where you're coming from. I understand what you're saying. And if it's wrong, then you go, look, this is what I thought was going to help. It didn't work. Okay, we're going to try this now. We're working together. We're coming up with a plan. Let's go this way now.
I agree 1,000%. And I think that's why a lot of times we are going to non-political figures now. Look at the onslaught of Trump. Then you have got Vivek, who's coming in hot, where people don't want to hear the polished guy who's talking like this and, doing the exact same thing over and over and over. On that note, we're going to go to commercial. Then we've got Dave DeRocher from Hawk Talk. He's going to join us just real quick. We're going to talk about Hawk Talk. Then we're going to possibly pull in a topic with him as well. All right.
For president. Charles president.
Take us away, Sub 60.
Chuck.
You have been watching Decades, a show on the NGBN.TV network.
This is NGBN TV, a network for men and home to top experts, speakers, authors, and more. Streaming TV for men, created by men.
But why?
Why are we a network that inspires,
educates, entertains, celebrates, and supports
men in their 40s, 50s, and 60s, simply to save men's lives?
There is an epidemic in our community,
and it's taking men from us.
I'm talking about mental health and suicide.
But we have an answer, and it's streaming, live shows, sports, concerts, and more.
In a real way for men to lock shields.
We can't wait to launch this TV network for you and with you.
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 Join our movement at ngbn.tv, coming January 2024.
Back to Decades. Take it away, Rubio.
I'm glad to see you're safe with your helmet. Why do you have a helmet on if you're locking shields?
If you're locking shields, have you ever seen Athens? What is it, 3,000 or 300?
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
They're not locking shields without a damn helmet.
That's all right. That's all right. I brought on Dave. Dave doesn't have time for this tomfoolery, Rubio. He has a show to do after this. So why don't you talk to Dave while he's on here?
Okay, Dave DeRocher, he's the host of Hawk Talk.
That makes more sense. All right, that makes more. What AC's doing makes more sense than your helmet.
I guess it does. We've got Dave DeRocher here. He's the host of Hawk Talk. Dave, welcome. Thanks. We finally got to meet him, and AC and I were in Vegas. I don't know if we've mentioned that. That's not neither here nor there. I mean, that's kind of a big deal. Dave, tell us a little bit about Hawk Talk.
Well, so I got asked to do a show called Sideline Sports, and we got involved with the NFL Alumni Network for a hot minute. And Gus Farad said, hey, we're doing team-specific shows. Would you like to do one? And I thought, well, sure, and I reached out to some of my other Southern California brothers, Walter Thurman III, Legion of Boom, Super Bowl champ, and then Trey Madden, who I've known his dad. He's an Orange County kid. And I said, hey, guys, you want to throw a show together? We'll just talk about Seahawks football. And this doggone thing is really taken off, and we're having a blast with it. And we're getting, we've had Steve Largent on and Malcolm Smith, Super Bowl MVP. Tonight we have Kenny Mayne from ESPN. And so he's a Seattle guy and loves the Seahawks football. So, we just bring in former players, and then we bring in a 12. So every single show, sometimes I'll just go through and scroll our followers and say, bing, send them an email. Hey, you want to be on the show? We'll do a view party, and there's two cats sitting on the bar. Hey, you want to be on the show? We had a kid on that was autistic. He's just a huge fan. He did a great job. And so you never know who's going to pop on the show. Tonight, our 12 is going to be PXG, the rep that was over there. He's a huge Seahawks fan. So anyways, we're doing a Media Row theme kind of show tonight.
Okay. You know our show Decades. We got one quick question for you. We like to talk about things you normally don't talk about.
All right.
The next topic we've got, I'm going to let you lead unless the judge wants to, because now that he's awake. Do you buy into any conspiracy theories, past or present?
Well, sure. And you know, the thing is, the reason they call them that is so that you won't believe in them. You know, is to make you feel stupid for believing it. And you know, I'm
so which one?
I'm 59 and concussed. You put me on the spot. I'm going to say, yeah, I believe in a handful of them. But I'm not going to. I don't have one. If you give me one, I'll tell you if I believe in it or not.
Man on the moon. Man on the moon. Man on the moon.
Oh,
man on the moon.
Oh, come on. Well, what's the conspiracy theory? Is that it didn't happen?
Did it happen? Yes or no?
It happened.
It did happen?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. I'll throw one more quick one out and then you can leave.
All right.
There's a cure for cancer and they're just not giving it to us.
Oh, I believe that 100%. You know, that's a multi-trillion-dollar industry. You know, people would lose their jobs as soon as they found a cure for that. I know that because I know the research and development. I used to do investment planning for 20 years, and I know the earnings of these companies, and it's all predicated on research and development of new drugs to keep us alive on a thing that they could cure tomorrow.
Dave DeRocher, Hawk Talk coming on right after us at 7:30 p.m. Pacific time on the NGBN network. You can also find him on YouTube at Sideline Sports.
One other quick thing. I want that ad. How come I don't have that ad? That NGBN ad. That's a cool ad. Yeah, and I should be on it. No, but that's a really cool ad for what
we got to get you on it and Sub 60 Ed off of it.
No, Sub 60 rocks, bro. You just
wait to meet that dude.
Yeah, well, I'll have Sub 60 see if he can send it to your email.
Rock and roll.
All right. Dave DeRocha just said Sub 60 rocks. I want to make sure everybody heard that.
Yeah.
That's more actually you, Rubio. That's
you can't see in the notes there. He wants to arm wrestle me.
Absolutely, anytime I would do it. I would do it right here on the show.
And Dave,
have a good time.
Sub 60 rocks. He said Sub 60 pebbles.
No, rocks. It's rocks, and it's being taped, so we've got that.
You got it right, bro.
All right, man.
All right, Dave.
Thanks, Dave, for joining us.
All right, thanks,
Dave.
Yeah. All right, next up, Alex on Tech. Conspiracy theory that you think might be true.
Well, actually, as turns out, COVID was originated in a lab. No matter how many times we were told it was not, it was some market, some bets, and some other stuff. Actually, it was in a lab, and it was actually eventually confirmed. Okay, so that was the real thing.
You got very fired up there, Gru, and I absolutely loved it.
And also Hunter's laptop story, we were told, it doesn't exist. The laptop is false and it's nothing there. But now it's all there. Okay, again, another theory that turns out to be true.
Words cannot express how much I love when you get fired up.
Yeah, fired up.
It warms my heart to no avail. Judge, conspiracy theories, you've lived through hundreds of them.
Well, thanks, Rubio. I couldn't understand this word that Alex said, but other than that,
wake up!
I hate to disagree with any former Seahawks player in any form, but generally I think they're called conspiracy theories just because that's what they are. The only one that I believe in is that there is a conspiracy by big oil to keep internal combustion going.
Oh, that's a good one. Charles Schutz from Worcester.
Yeah, I actually saw a video about an alternative fuel that was on YouTube that, again, I don't know if it's accurate because it's on YouTube, but it was an interesting video to watch. And it was one of those things that the guy goes, this will never see the light of day because, gas is such a big moneymaker. But I absolutely agree that I think there is a grain of truth in every conspiracy theory. Now, whether or not it's entirely true or not is up for debate and probably argument for years to come. But the reason why they gain traction is because there's enough to pull people in to go, I could believe that. I could see that being true. And so there's got to be something. I mean, Bigfoot's real. Let's go with that.
Oh.
There's something big walking around out there.
It's in the Northwest. Scarano?
Dave DeRocher's walking around. What? Oh, my God. Well, I don't think Lee Harvey Oswald killed JFK.
Well, yeah.
And there's other ones that historically we've proven to be lies. So these are just newer lies, because you're talking about our government. So they're going to lie.
Okay. Bill Geiser?
Actually, Gru kind of took the one I was going to mention, which is the Wuhan vaccine lab. I mean, you know, there's only a handful of those labs in the world. And one of them's in Wuhan. And they're trying to sell us this bullshit that it was like monkeys up in the sky, you know, dropping their stuff around. And that's how it spread. It was bullshit. It got leaked out of the Wuhan lab. Everybody knows it. That was not a conspiracy theory. It's absurd that they try to pull that one off.
Brandon Culkin says MK Ultra. I don't know what that means. Is that some sort of code? Is that some Air Force code? I don't know what that means. But he also said go Hawks. Don't forget, people that are watching, make sure you vote for who's the best. Rubio is spelled R-U-B, as B as in boy, I-O. Tonight for Republicans, Democrats flipped another seat in Congress. What's going on with the GPA? I love it, but I'm just curious. That's next week's topic. AC, we'll come to you. I know you and I had some good talks on this when you were getting big time.
Well, that last comment means I won't be here next week. I can.
That'll be one topic.
If that's the topics, I'm good. I will go watch high school basketball.
Come on, AC.
I mean, hey man, they're conspiracy theories because there's smoke, and when there's smoke, there's fire. So I believe a lot to everything that we hear. There's some truth to it. It's very seldom that things is completely false. So I believe the government killed Dr. King in the hospital. I believe that the government had Nipsey Hussle killed. I believe that most Black leaders in the history of America have been killed by the government by some form of fashion. And then fast forward, who dropped off the guns and the drugs in the hood? Not the Black people, but the Black neighborhoods are completely infested by this stuff. So those are conspiracy theories or just little truths that you just let slide.
You sound like Furious and Boys in the Hood right there.
Just drop some knowledge. Why there's a liquor store on every corner?
Yeah, right. Why there's a liquor store every corner. AC, you want to tell mine that we talked about?
You had quite a few. I'm not sure which one you want to pinpoint. You just talked about one.
The one that I've had.
Magic Johnson never had HIV.
100%. He was a plant. That dude's healthier than ever. He was. I argue that when he got it, late 80s, early 90s, when he got it, he was probably the most popular person on the planet besides Mr. Jesus. And it was going to be someone that had to have the voice of it because they were trying to take out people with either drugs and or gays or things like that. And everyone else, who had it, Rock Hudson, blah, blah, Queen, Bohemian Rhapsody, all that, they all died, fizzled away. Magic Johnson, that dude's healthier than anyone on stage right now. I mean, he looks great.
You buying this, AC?
I mean, there's some truth to it. He is healthy.
Yeah, he made his millions by putting movie theaters in the hood, and the selling point was he put literally Hawaiian Punch. Like that was the selling point. Come on.
And nobody else got it from him. Like Cookie's good, his kids are good. I mean, he's no longer. He can no longer pass it on. He's no longer
detectable. Never really seemed to get sick.
He never got sick.
Hey, thank you, Scarano. Thank you very much.
I mean, he was heavy.
Too scared to talk tonight about the GO defeat.
He might have had it, but he has the cure that they will not release to the public, just like cancer.
Exactly. Same thing as always. Like remember when the Rona first started, and who was it? Tom Hanks just happened to be in Greece, and he got it, and everyone was like, "Oh my God, an actor got it, and the world's ending." Blah blah blah. If Tom Hanks can get it, anyone can get it. Sub 60, bring that question up again. I know we got 4 minutes. I hear you. Too scared to talk about the GOP defeat, huh? Figures. What defeat are we talking about?
Sure.
It's up in New York. The Santos's seat was up for re-election tonight, and the Democrat beat the Republican.
Okay, well, it's up in New York, right?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, it's like Long Island area, I think, is where he was.
Isn't this the same night that Mayorkas is going to get impeached too?
No, he did get impeached by the House.
Did he?
Yeah, they voted to impeach him, but it's going to die in the Senate.
Yeah. Well, he's done a great job on the border. I mean,
But as I was watching something, they were impeaching a guy who was just following the orders. If they were going to impeach somebody, they should go after Biden. Just saying.
Exactly. Yes.
This was kind of a futile attempt to do a lot of nothing in my
So,
opinion.
Mark, no, not too scared about it. I just didn't know about it, didn't hear about it. You know me, I love to argue all day, all night. The Rubio methods every 2 weeks. You can jump on with me just like this, and we'll talk about anything you want. Sub 60, do you have a nomination or whoever is the winner for tonight?
Chuck.
You can't vote AC.
Carroll's for
well, but you know what? You know what? It's funny. Yeah, Chuck is the winner because Chuck, actually there's a couple votes that came in for Chuck. Chuck brought it on strong. Mr. Schultz, not related to the Peanuts.
Came in hot.
I think Judge should get a partial award for getting some REM sleep throughout some of the show.
Rubio.
See, the difference is that I gave Judge instead. I usually give him a bar stool, and now I gave him like a leather chair, and see how he's slouched, too comfy. That's actually my fault. I can't allow him to have comfort. I need to just put him on like a curb or something. Put like some thumbtacks behind him so he can't lean back and just pokes himself.
Put him in
something like that.
The best
All
part
right,
were
guys.
the comments that were coming up.
They were great. Yeah, someone say peanut butter jelly and oatmeal for the Judge to wake up.
Yes.
Everyone out there that watched and commented, we really appreciate it. Make sure you spread the word, subscribe, download the app on Roku, Amazon Fire, Google Play. Keep talking to people about things you don't normally want to talk about.
Well, and go watch Hawk Talk with Dave DeRocha. Thanks, Dave, for stopping by.
And you got Dave DeRocha Hawk Talk followed by AC Sports Live at 9.
AC, check out our boy.
And then the ride with Chevy and Nasty at 10 p.m. Pacific time. They're going to go overtime.
I got to go box 3 rounds. Let me go here.
And we are out.
Thanks for watching Decades on the NGBN.TV network. Be sure to